Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Sergeff, and today we are going to learn how to make a round puppet head. It's going to look a lot like this, very simple, with some foam and a mouth and a handpiece on the inside. Stick around. Alright, first you need to gather some materials. Sharpie pen, scissors, knife, hot glue gun and hot glue, duct tape, some felt material, and some 1/2-inch foam. Once you've gathered these materials, we can begin. Alright everyone, so now that you have all of your materials gathered, the first thing you want to do is take your pattern, and what I've done is I've just cut it out onto a piece of the whiteboard that we're using, just to give me a more solid piece to work with. You want to take your materials, your foam here, and you're going to cut out 2 of these patterns. One this way, and then flip it over, and one that way. Just like that. Alright, now that I've got both of my patterns traced onto my foam, I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors, cut straight across here, and then cut both of these out. Alright, now that we've got both of our pieces cut out, we want to look at our pattern and we have it labeled. What we want to do is we want to get our hot glue gun and we want to glue the A's together, the B's together, and the C's together. Like that. Okay? And then you're just going to press them together and hold it together for about 10 seconds. Okay, now that we've got A, B, and C all glued together on both sides, A, B, and C, you can start to see that we've got a head coming to shape. We're eventually, and if you look at our diagram, D is all the way around this outer curve. That would be these 2 outer curves. We're going to glue those together like so, and what that's going to give us is something along the lines of this. Okay. So I've got all of that glued together all the way around like that, and it gives me a bit of a dome like this with these 2 flaps. What you want to do is take the 2 flaps and glue them together. Alright, so you may end up with a bit of a spine along the edge here, and what I do to take care of that is I just take my scissors and I very carefully, just barely cutting off kind of my blue line here. Okay, the next element of your puppet head is the mouth. So what I do is I take a piece of paper and I just fold it right in half, like this. And then what you want to do is just take either the top or the bottom, and without bending or folding it, you just want to set that in there, like so. I'm just setting it right in there on the top. And I'm taking a pen, and I'm lightly, not an exact science, outlining the shape of the top of my mouth here. Then I'll flip it over, and again, without bending or pressing or pushing on any of that, I'm just setting the piece of paper in there, making sure it's touching the corners here. And I'm drawing that. See, but when you open it up, what you have is something like that, and it looks off because you probably moved around a little bit, but that's okay. But then what I like to do is I take just a little bit off on either side, about 1/4 of an inch from here, and 1/4 of an inch off of the edge of this one. And the reason I'm doing that is because my cardstock is thick, and if I put them together, they'll butt heads and it won't really fit. So I'm giving enough space in between for there to be room for them to open and close without touching all the way. Okay, I've got my 2 pieces cut off here, and I just labeled them T and B, top and bottom, so I know which one is which. I'm laying them on the edge of my cardstock that we have, with the flat edge on one that's already flat. I'm taking my pen drawing the outline of it. Okay? And this is where your knife comes in, your X-Acto knife. Now please be careful with these. It is sharp and they can cut you, so have supervision. And then I'm just running this knife right along the outer edge of these lines. Now we've got our two pieces cut out from the stock, the card stock. And I've got my bottom and the top here. And what I like to do is put them together, and when the puppet talks, they have to move together. So I hold them at an angle and I drop them. Do you see that space there? That's very important, because if you try to glue them together, it won't close when you want it to close. So I put them together, I hold them at an angle, and I just let them drop. And then I take a piece of duct tape and I tape it right in place, just like that. Okay? And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Let's move on to the next step. We've got tape on both sides of our mouth, like so. And we're going to take it and put it right down onto the red felt, just like so. Somewhere right down in the middle would be good, or maybe just off to the edge so you don't waste this in case you want to use it for something else. But what you're going to do is you need to leave some space here, because you're going to trace the original shape with your black pen, and you need to make a second line about, it doesn't matter, more is better, because you're going to take the extra material and fold it over top and glue it. So I would go another ½ an inch at least. Alright. As you can see, I went even a little bit further around the outside of my line. So this fits in my original trace. Then I cut at least 3/4 of an inch all the way around so that I can fold all these edges up and glue them. I'm going to take my scissors and just create little slits about 1 inch apart all the way around here, and I'm not going any farther past the original line that traces this. Now I can take my hot glue gun and I can put a little bit of hot glue on each of these little separate pieces by themselves and glue them up. Alright, so I've got all of my edges glued together, and it gives me this, which is my mouth. I've got little half sheets of duct tape here that are just about the length of the whole thing. And I'm going to offset them just enough, about 1.5 inches, maybe about there. And then I can attach one side. It's hot, watch out for that. Fold it under and attach the other side. But that gives me a loop there that my fingers will fit in, and then I can do this. And that will give me a secure thing when I put my hand inside of my puppet, just like that. So I'll do the same thing on the bottom. Now I've got 2 loops, just like this, that my hand will fit into and give me some leverage to speak with my puppet. Okay, now the last part of this puppet head, just for the basic part of the puppet head without the skin, is to glue the mouth in here. I fold it in half. I want to push it right down in here, and just like before, how we glued these outer edges here, I want to put it right in the corner, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along this edge, hold it, and then a little bit more glue, hold it, all the way until the top half is completely glued together. Then I will go back and do the same thing on the bottom, a little bit of glue on the corner, and a little bit more and a little bit more until all the way around I have it glued together like so. And there you go, everyone. A very basic, bare bones, round puppet head.